Happy New Year's, everybody. It is currently New Year's Day 2022, and it's been a long time since I actually done a video, and today my locals is going to be hosting a tournament. We went. Everything has already been recorded. This is actually being recorded after the tournament happened, but I will be showing you guys the gameplay, some commentary about the matches that I went through. I was not able to record in between matches like I normally do, mostly because the matches did take a little bit longer, and by the time the match was officially done, a lot of us actually wrapped up kind of early, so like they just got the rounds up like quick, you know, so that was really cool too. I did like that. It was like a faster pace, and it actually ended quite early, but there was very few players here today. There was, I believe, 11 to 12 players. I can't remember exactly how many. I think there was 11 players because one person did have a bye, so I'm assuming there was 11 players, and that's cool. At least we get to get some gameplay going, because I needed to test out the deck that we built, and I can officially announce that heroes are done. I built the deck of heroes. I got everything I needed. Since the very beginning of this vlog series, I've been talking about rebuilding my hero deck, and it is done, and I was excited to play this deck at a locals. Now, a couple of shout outs basically to everybody who's helped support me building the hero deck, to the local pickups, to the online buys, and to my awesome cousin Danny, who got me the rest of the hero cards for a Christmas gift. Man, I cannot thank you enough. And he has been rebuilding Madolches. He actually used to play Madolches back in the XC's era, like whenever that set came out. He did come around during he was around a little bit during, I think, the Arc 5 era, but not so much. He had a Yusenju deck, but he didn't really play it as much, so that was kind of when he stopped playing. So it has been a very long time since he's been around in Yu-Gi-Oh! And he actually rebuilt the whole Madolche deck and picked up some very heavy hitters like the Pot of Prosperities, as well as like Nibiru, all the main staples of any game that's going on right now. So he has a very full fleshed out deck, and we played non-stop Christmas Eve for 5 hours straight. He won quite a lot of them, but whatever. And it was just cool. It was like old times, just us playing the game, and that was really awesome. I wish I could have recorded that. I should have recorded that, but I just didn't. I don't know why I did not. But hopefully maybe next time I'll be able to record some matches for you guys to see, and I'm hoping to persuade him into coming to locals to play a little bit, and maybe he'll be featured on this channel in the future. Let's hope. Like if you guys want to see Danny be in this series, or at least on a video, like comment down below, because I need to convince him, like, hey, you need to come to locals, because people do want to see you play Madolches or something like that. Just like comment something down below for him. But yeah, the hero deck is done, and I could not be more excited to have taken it to locals today. And for the most part, it did very well. I did miss a couple cards because I forgot them, and I just forgot to put it in the deck, and so I had to play with what I had. So there are a couple of changes that I'm going to be making during next week's video. So yeah, but you live and learn, you know, you live and learn. So let's go ahead and go to the locals, and we did go today. Like I said, there was only 11 to 12 players today, so it was a small turnout, but we still got some practice in because YCS Pasadena is coming up, and I was debating actually not going because of certain things that are still going on right now, being a little bit hesitant about going. But you know, I do want to hang out with my friends. I do want to actually go to a YCS and play some Yu-Gi-Oh! So as long as I am safe about it, you know, and things like that, I think I'm gonna be okay. So I'm still trying to get to YCS Pasadena, and I'll be coming up in about 2 weeks at the time of recording this video. It will be in 2 weeks at the time of recording this video. So I am excited for that. I just have to like really crunch some practice in with my hero deck, because I still don't know what I'm gonna be playing just about yet, what the whole deck list is, because I do have to get the deck list out by January 14th, because you know, if you don't have a deck list out, you are dropped from the tournament. So yeah, I really need to figure it out, and I'll show you guys a deck profile around the end of the video, because I do want to talk to you guys about what changes I will make in the future video. So yeah. So for round one, we are going against a Melfi deck, and he has to start with the Obedient Skull. I Ash Blossomed that, but unfortunately he had another Obedient Skull in his hand, so he was able to pop off with 3 Melfi monsters, well, 2 Melfi monsters and one of the forest monsters. I did have to read these cards because I have not played against Melfis like at all, so I have absolutely no idea what they do, and I just like, I'm brand new to this one. So he goes into the Joyous Melfi XC's monster. Now that one I did have to worry about a little bit because he can pop off the other monsters. So at the start start of my turn, I did use the Ferris to discard my increase to place an increase to the spell and trap code zone. Afterwards, I did use its effect to tribute my Ferris, and there I think that he was going to bait out the effect of the increase, but afterwards he does use the Melfi effect to summon all three of them. I then responded to summon out Vion. I used Vion's effect to send Mali to the graveyard, in which he does use the Melfi to pop my Vion, so I was not able to search the Polymerization. He was very optimistic about not me searching out Polymerization at all, so I did have Stratos in my hand. That was my next play. I normal summon Stratos to get a search out from here, and he did use the effects. He chained the Melfi effects. I'm not entirely sure which ones these were called. I think it was like Cat. One of them was Cat. So he was going to, I believe he was going to special summon out one of them. He's going to add, rescue Cat from his deck to his hand, and then he special summons out the Tri-Brigade Kit. Now there I'm realizing, oh, this is a Tri-Brigade Melfi deck. I forget that is a thing. So with Stratos, I searched a Dusted Gold, and I proceeded to to Link Summon into Cross Crusader, use the effect, bring out Mali, tribute Mali to search out another Stratos. For some reason I did that, and I'm realizing this was a huge misplay. I should have added Honest Neos to my hand because I could have gotten the game a lot quicker, but I was so worried about getting hit with Nibiru, I went for the follow-up play. So I used a Dusted Gold to search out the Dark Calling, and then I used Mali's effect, summoned out another Mali, linked both Crusader and Mali to the Dread Decimator because it could do piercing damage, and then I proceeded to fusion summon the Malicious, and I did use Malicious effect to pop up all of his monsters. Now from here, this is where I'm saying that I should have had the Honest Neos in my hand, and because I did proceed to do some damage. After Kit was sent to the graveyard, he did send Nerval to the graveyard, and Nerval searched out Karaz to his hand, so he did have a follow-up play, and that's what I'm saying. I did mess up. I should have had the Honest Neos. I proceeded to beat him down to, I believe, 1100 life points, and I was like, searched out Honest Neos. I should have done that. And yeah, that was it for my turn. That was a big misplay there, but I was so worried about Nibiru. He did DD Crow my Mali from my graveyard, which had no purpose anymore. I didn't have Denier, so he did banish the Mali. So I just didn't have that anymore. And I did have a few heroes in my graveyard, so Dread Decimator did decrease their monsters, but he does summon the Alpha Beast and was able to bounce Malicious, and he was able to just special summon it back. He did use Rescue Cat as well to summon out two of the Fabled monsters. I can't remember what it's called, but that's all he had. So he went into those, and then he XC summoned into the Number Raccoon monster, which he then goes into discarding a Beast monster to special summon out Karaz. Now he uses the token, generator monster to special summon out a 3000 attack point token. And my Dread Decimator only has 2900 attack points, so it's not going to take out a monster of his own, but that's very unfortunate. So from here, he uses the Karaz to banish 4 beast-related monsters to summon out the Shuret, and from there, he banishes my Dread Decimator, and yeah, I'm completely boardless. So he goes for an attack, and thankfully, Alpha cannot attack directly, but he was still able to put in a lot of damage, and from here, I'm just thinking, oh, what am I going to do? I draw a card. I believe I drew Destiny Fusion, and I had Vion and Stratos in my hand, and I'm debating what to summon out first because I don't know what kind of interruptions he could have on his field, and because he does have that Melfi, but the Melfi wasn't really all that work. Didn't put that much work whatsoever, so I summoned out the Vion. I used Vion's effect, to which he chained his Melfi to summon out Melfi Pony, I believe, from his deck, and from there, I sent the Elemental Hero Shadow Mist, where Shadow Mist uses the effect to search out the Honest Neos, which I should have done a lot earlier. And then he also proceeded to pop my monster, to banish my monster, Vion, so I don't get search for Polymerization. But I did add the Fusion Destiny, where I was able to send Plasma Denier to the graveyard, summon out the Destroyer Phoenix, the Forcer. Has so many hero monsters in my graveyard, decreased the heck out of all of his monsters' attack points, proceeded to attack, and I used the Honest Neos to have even more of a beatdown, and I got game 1. Starting game 2, my opponent goes first by setting 1 card face down and a monster face down defense position and passes. Now I activate Reinforcement of the Army, but my opponent has the Ash Blossom in his hand, but thankfully I also had Foolish Burial in my hand, so I activated to send Shadow Mist to the graveyard to use Shadow Mist's effect to search for Elemental Hero Stratos to start getting some searches, because I do have Denier, but I do not have a Ferris. I go into Stratos, summon it, use the effect, and he chains Ice Dragon's Prison to special summon out my Shadow Mist from my graveyard and banishes both monsters on my field. But thankfully I was able to search out the Ferris, discard Denier to summon out Ferris, and from here I proceed to go on my usual plays, but he does have the DD Crow in his hand, so he discards it to banish my Denier. So I am going to be a Mali short now that I can recycle Mali, but that's okay. It's going to be using like the same plays before Denier even got released, so that's pretty cool. Went into the Cross Crusader, summon out Mali, tribute to Mali to add the Liquid Soldier. Then I banished Mali to summon out the second copy of Mali. Proceeded to use Polymerization to fuse the increase in my hand as well as the, oh no, not increase in my hand. Which one did I use? I used a Liquid Soldier and another hero monster. I can't remember which one it was, but I used chains 1 and 2. So search out Miracle Fusion, drew 2 cards, one of them being Fusion Destiny and the other being Dark Calling. I discarded Dark Calling because I was not going to need it. I proceeded to link into the Dread Decimator. Then I proceeded to go into Fusion Destiny, sending out the Destiny Hero Plasma as well as the Elemental Hero Honest Neos to go into DPE. And from here, I knew I had game because if I was able to attack directly, Sunriser was going to be using his effects. So thankfully, my opponent did not have Nibiru, went into battle phase, declared attack, used Sunriser's effect to pop his monster face down, to which left him defenseless, and I attacked for game, giving us round 2 and winning us round 1 of the tournament. For round 2, my opponent starts first, and he is playing PK Fire, and he's going into his Phantom Knight plays, and then the Burning Abyss Cherubini. Then he's going to use Cherubini's effect to send Graf to the graveyard to bring out Seer, link both of them off into Shade Brigandine, and Seer is going to bring back the Cherubini. Now, I do enjoy playing against Burning Abyss. I have a friend, Pancho, who plays it non-stop, so it's actually really cool to see just Burning Abyss being played more. And it's going to be even more insane when the new set comes out of Grand Creators. Now, my opponent is going to be building up a board. He's going to be bringing out the Living Sea Dragon. He's going to bring back Ancient Cloak, link those two into Dagda. But thankfully, I do have the Nibiru, so I decided to do it now instead of waiting for Dagda to go off. So I summon out Nibiru, attribute all his monsters, but he does have more follow-up plays after this. So I might have dropped it a little bit early, but I just wanted to, like, you know, get rid of that Dagda because it will shut off my extra deck with Scythe. Now, he will be bringing back a Phantom Knight, then link off to Link Spider, then go to Verte Anaconda. And from here, he will be banishing one of the Phantom Knights to search out another Fog Blade. So he will have 2 Fog Blades by the end of this turn. Then uses Anaconda to go to DPE. So now he has 2 Fog Blades and DPE as well as Anaconda on the field. So when it becomes my turn, I draw, I activate Reinforcement of the Army, see if I can bait anything out. He doesn't do anything, so I add Stratos. Now I'm going to try to bait out these Fog Blades. So I summon Stratos, he does the Fog Blade, but I already have Ferris in my hand, so I use Ferris's effect to bring itself out. I put increase in my spell trap zone. Now I try to use the increase by tributing Ferris, but my opponent does chain DPE to destroy my increase, so it will destroy it. It will not be special summoned, and that's unfortunate right there. And that was actually kind of a play I was going for, but I did have the Fusion Destiny, but he had Ash Blossom, so yeah, all I could do was just attack with Nibiru, and that was really it for my turn. So now during my opponent's it's my opponent's turn now, and now he brings out the DPE back from the graveyard, and this is where he's going to go off and proceed to an OTK here that he is going to be doing a lot of graveyard recursions here by banishing, I think, I forgot which of the Fog Blade cards, not Fog Blade, but the other one that brings back a monster from the graveyard. He's going to bring back Shade Brigandine, then he's going to be busting out a Time Thief Redoer, and he's going to attack me directly, and then he's going to use Fog Blade during the battle phase to bring out Break Sword, and he's just going to proceed to attack and win game 1. Game 2, my opponent goes first, and he summons out quite a lot of level 3 monsters to go to Cherubini. He's going to be using Cherubini to send the Phantom Knights cards, but I do have the artifact Lancia, so I'm not going to be putting him in that position of banishing his monsters to get resources, and that actually puts him in a tight spot. And what's even more awesome is the fact that I opened up with yet another Nibiru. So now he goes into Dagda, uses Dagda because he activates Fusion Destinies to bring out DPE, and I'm like, oh, this is perfect. So after he summons out DPE, he sets Scythe. I bring out the Nibiru because DPE is not going to be able to special summon itself because it got tributed. So I summoned out the Nibiru, and then I go to my turn. I have Fusion Destiny. I am going to try to go for this 1-card combo that you can use for it, and I do happen to make a pretty decent sized board. However, my opponent will stop me in midst of this combo, so I did have to adapt a little bit here. So I'm going off of here. I'm going to Cross Crusader. I bring out Denier, Tribute Denier for Cross Crusader's effect at Stratos, but my opponent drops the Droll and Lockbird, so I cannot do any searching. So I'm just going to try to do the resources I have right now to try to build up some kind of board here, and I don't want to commit too much to things that will be adding to my hand, so I just kind of play off here that I'm just going to Dread Decimator. I'm trying to build up as much a board as possible to put in some damage. And I do have the Ferris, so I activate Ferris's effect to bring out Increase, but I don't tribute for Increase because I can bring out Vion. I already have Malicious in my graveyard, and I can't search Polymerization, so no need for that. But I do attack, and then I do proceed to OTK him with all the damage on my board, so I was able to still do what needed to be done, and got game 2. So yeah. Game 3, my opponent goes first, and he opens up with Tour Guide to bring out Graph from his deck and go into Cherubini, and he's going to be using the same exact plays as Game 1, and I'm fine with that. I actually have no hand traps that can actually interrupt his field, at least not yet. So he's going to be summoning out his Shade Brigandine, setting Fog Blade, get another Fog Blade. Oh no, I'm sorry, he gets Boots this time because he has Torn Scale, so he summons out Boots, and he's going to be overlaying them into Levianair to bring back, I believe, Ancient Cloak. Yeah, Ancient Cloak. Then he goes into Dagda. From here, I have to decide, yep, we're going to bust out Nibiru again. 3 games in a row, I opened up with Nibiru. That was just awesome. So he has to go into his Verte Anaconda plays now without the Dagda and the Scythe on the field. So I'm wondering if I should hold off next time if I ever play him again, and hold off and wait till he actually sets Scythe and try to Nibiru, because I could get rid of his DPE, but he could also destroy DPE and just, probably. So I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I should try to wait next time and see what happens. So yeah, I'm going against him. He has a bunch of Fog Blades because when I summon Vion, he's just going to activate that. I use Fusion Destiny. He has Ash Blossom. He has like a bunch of my counters to my cards, so all I can do is just attack with Nibiru on his Verte Anaconda, which he does let go, so I'm a little bit surprised about that one. But when I proceed to end the turn, he's going to be activating DPE, destroying Nibiru and his Fog Blade, and then he's going to be banishing Fog Blade to bring back Shade Brigandine, then brings out Torrent Scales, and then his turn, he's going to be I believe, summoning Ancient Cloak, and then he's going to be overlaying Ancient Cloak and Torrent Scales to be going into Break Sword. Now, from this point, he actually did have game, but he didn't realize it. He could have attacked with all these monsters and then activated DPE's effect to destroy itself as well as the Break Sword. And Break Sword's effect would have brought back 2 monsters from his graveyard, and they're not in defense position, so he could attack directly with them and he would have got game. But he didn't realize that, and it's all good. I'm pretty sure that's how that worked as well, looking at it right now, but I'm pretty sure you could have done that. So, yeah, he has the Fog Blade still. And now it goes to my turn. I discard a card to bring out Ferris. I bring out Ferris, but he activates Fog Blade. So yeah, that's not going to get that far. Activate Fusion Destiny, and he does let this one pass. I had 2 Fusion Destinies, but thankfully the first one got negated, so the other one wasn't a dead one after all. So I go into DPE, go into Mali, bring out Mali Denier, go into Cross Crusader, activate its effect, but he's going to DPE my Cross Crusader, so it's just only going to bring out Malicious. I can't get a search. So Denier's coming out here now with the... I do not return a Malicious because time got called and he got the win. So from here, my opponent got game 3 and he won the match. So we are now 1-1. And before we start round 3, enjoy this little clip of me and my opponent rolling the exact same number 3 times in a row.
Oh, all right. All right. Great. All right. I can do what you did. Okay, let's just use your die. One. You get a 1, bro. Okay. Woo. I'll go first.
Starting off game 1 of round 3, my opponent goes first and he activates Pot of Desires, and I unfortunately do not have an Ash Blossom, so he draws 2 cards and he summons out a Shuna. So at this point I'm like, oh, okay, he's playing Sword Soul. Okay, I have a good understanding about these cards at the very least, so I'm gonna see what can I do, and I actually don't really have anything to stop his field, and he's gonna be going into a pretty good field here. Now he is setting up some plays here that he's gonna be going to Baxia to basically, he's going to get the level 9 Yang Z monsters that's going to shut off my light monsters, and that's not even going to be the worst part. By the end of this turn, he's going to be having a really good field that's going to put me in a very tight position that I really can't do much. So he goes into the level 9 Yang Z monster. Originally, he was going to summon out the Shin Chin, but now he used the level 9 Yang Z instead, so he's going to be shutting off my light monsters. And then from this point, he's going to be banishing 3 worms from his graveyard, so he can special summon out the big boss Nemesis monster that's going to basically shut me off of my dark monster, so I can't use light or dark. And that's going to put me in a very tight spot here. So I open up, I actually have Stratos in my hand, so I have to normal summon Stratos. I open up with E-Call, added Stratos, then I normal summon Stratos to try to get a search, but Lights isn't going to be usable, so I can't even search out Honest Neos because it's going to be negated. So I just try to use its effect, but he's going to try to negate it with his Sword Soul, but I do have the mass change, so I summon out Blast. Then I can get the search from Stratos, and Blast is going to half the attack points of his Sword Soul Synchro monster. And I just added another Stratos because I really can't do much. And yeah, I just proceeded to attack into his Sword Soul Synchro monster, which does get destroyed. And I'm like, wow, I can't use light or darks, and this is like a really tough call. So during his turn, he activates summon to bring back his monster, and from there he just proceeds to attack me, and he does a lot of damage here. He sets, I believe, infinite impermanence. Now he didn't use the effect of the nemesis, so I'm back to using dark monsters. I summon out the Stratos, search out Shadow Mist, discard Shadow Mist to go into Ferris, and I summon out Ferris, and this is when he does use the infinite impermanence. So I did chain 1 for Shadow Mist and chain 2 Ferris, so I can't use the Ferris, but I do get a search, and I don't know why I searched out, I believe I searched out Plasma. I think I was initially trying to go into Plasma so I could shut off all of his monster effects, but then I had Fusion Destiny in my hand. I went to my DPE, then I linked off my 2 monsters. Oh no, I had the Dust of Gold in my hand. I sent a Dust of Gold to add my Dark Calling, and then I go into my Cross Crusader, and now from here he does have the Sword Soul Icarus attack, so I would use my DPE to destroy his monster instead, and DPE gets saved. Yeah, so from here I had to start off a little bit scratchier, so I activate Dark Calling, bring out Malicious, and I have Denier in my graveyard, and I bring out Denier, and unfortunately I don't have its effect of recurring the other Malicious because I don't have the other Malicious yet, so yeah, I just had to bring it out. Then I proceeded to, I think I attacked into his, I attacked into his monster, and I bring back DPE, and then his turn, I bring out DPE. Then he summons out Moe. He activates Moe's effect, and he summons out the token. He synchros both of those cards, goes into the level 8 synchro monster, which he does get the search for the Longian, and he does use the Longian's effect. And from there, I do use the DPE so I can pop the, I believe the token. I do pop the, oh no, Longian. Okay, I popped the Longian so he can't get into Barony. And from here, he tries to link it off, but he can't because Monk only uses 10 Yi, non-token, or, not that it can only use a 10 Yi monster, my bad. So he can't really do that, and he just proceeded to attack into my Denier. That's all really he could do. So my turn, I bring back DPE, and I'm going to proceed to attack directly with a lot of damage here. So I'm setting up some boards. I use Malicious effect to pop all of his monsters. Malicious Bane's effect, and then I just proceeded to attack directly, and I had the Honest Neos, giving me game 1. Now for game 2, my opponent's going first again, and he does have the Shinin, and he's going to be using his plays a little bit more here. I think he's going to be restricted into Worms for this turn because he's going to be using the Shunin monster. He does have a pretty cool setup at first here, and I had the infinite permanence, so it kind of like messed him up a little bit. He did go into level 10, a Sword Soul monster, and I don't know if it's because he might not have Barony, so because he's not restricted into Worms, and that's why I'm thinking, So now it become my turn. I activate Polymerization, fuse 3 my hero monsters, and I set off so good with this. I had the Liquid Soldier, I had the Shadow Mist to search out Honest Neos, and I'm just going to proceed to attack with with my Trinity Vision Hero, add 2,500 attack points, and just proceed to destroy him. And he did have a very nice Infinite Impermanence Ultimate Rare he did pull as well, and that thing just looked really cool. I mean, look at this thing. That thing just looks really nice. He pulled it today, so he was already a winner. Round 4, we are playing against Flu Wanderies, and I gotta admit, guys, I am gonna be lost with this recap because I was so confused with this deck. Like, I did not know the game style of it. I didn't know the play style of the deck, and the chainings and all that, so I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be very lost with this recap, so just enjoy me trying to figure out what the hell do these cards do, and my opponent kind of going off, actually, and I just had to try to figure out what the heck am I gonna do against this, because this deck is still relatively new to me because I actually haven't played against it. I haven't even seen deck profiles of this or anything like that, so I'm a bit not knowing what the hell to do. And I was trying to do Nibiru, but until I realized my opponent only summoned I think 3-4 times, so he was under the 5 summonings. Didn't really matter. So yeah, and that monster, I realized negates special summon monsters in attack position, so I summoned out Stratos with Hero Lives, and that just negated it, so it happens. But my opponent's going to proceed to go off pretty easily here, and he just summons out the Ryza Monarch monster, and then he's just going to I think he bounces my card. I actually can't remember, but or maybe he doesn't. But yeah, he just got game 1. Honestly, at this point, he just got it. So I activate E Emergency Call for game 2. It's game 2. I activate E Emergency Call, get Stratos, summon out Stratos, and I'm trying to go into I think I tried to go into Plasma for this, because if I can shut off my opponent's field, I could try to do something here. So I have Fusion Destiny, go into my own DPE, and I set up my usual combo plays of going into the Malicious Denier, going to Cross Crusader, use Cross Crusader's effect, Tribute to add, I believe, Plasma. Yep, I try to go into the Plasma, and it does help out for a little bit of spoiler there, but it doesn't last that long. Then I go into Plasma, it does shut off his monsters, and that helps. It actually does help, but not for long, like I said. And yeah, that was my board, and thankfully he did not have like Nibiru or anything like that, but I don't think the deck actually plays that at all, so it's fine. He activated Prosperities, he got his 3. He had Book of Moon, but he didn't add that to his hand, so I was thinking maybe he already had it, but no, he did not have Book of Moon. But he does activate Evenly Match, and then I use DPE's effect to just destroy him in 1 card, and I just banished 1 Mass Change. I think that's what I had face down. So he goes into his usual, tries to go into his plays here, but like I said, Plasma is going to be negating most of this stuff. So yeah, I think he just only normal summons, or no, he reveals, banishes, normal summons, and then he just gets to bring back the card that was banished to his hand. And yeah, it becomes my turn. I activate DPE, bringing it back, and I absorb his Flu Wanderers card. I go into Malicious Bane, and I proceed to attack directly with quite some damage, but not enough to end the game here. But yeah, he's going to be going off a little bit here. I think this is where he gets over the Plasma. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, it is. Okay, so he does have the Harpy's Featherstorm, and oh man, that card is brutal. I do activate the DPE, but that was my own fault there, because using DPE is gonna cost me, because I can't bring it back because of Featherstorm. And yeah, because Featherstorm negates the effects of all my monsters, not currently on the field or anything like that, so I can't even attempt to activate DPE after it's been destroyed, so I just can't bring it back. And yeah, this is gonna be from this point where he is gonna be able to get over Plasma and then just completely wreck me a little bit here. I think he wrecks me to the point where I can't even have a follow-up, and I think this is where he's gonna basically get the game. I think it is. I'm not entirely sure. Like I said, I'm gonna be a little bit lost during these replays. And oh, he attacks the Malicious Bane instead. I can't remember if he bounces Plasma or something happens here, but he sets 2. I go into my turn. DPE, like I said, is not gonna do anything. I do some of the increase, and I try to use Mass Change, but yeah, it's not gonna really do absolutely anything, because I forgot to summon it in defense position, so its effects were negated. And yeah, he proceeds to go into his normal summons, and then I think he goes into the Mega Monarch, and like, yeah, I think it is the Mega Monarch that he goes into. Oh no, he goes into Snarl, my bad, and he books both my monsters here. And yeah, like, I just Triple Tactics Talent, that's the only time I ever actually use this card. Drew 2 cards, completely useless. And my opponent has Pot of Duality, and yeah, this is where he's gonna get it. I know this has to be where he gets this duel, because it's just so hard to actually follow up with these cards, knowing what the hell did they do. And I was just so lost with this deck, and I like have to brush up on what the hell this deck does so I can be more prepared next time. Yeah, he goes into the Mega Monarch, where he's gonna be bouncing my cards, and yeah, he proceeds to attack, and then he basically gets game from this point on. And this was a rough one.
Gary. Alright. The remainder of top 8 will get still center cards. This will be random. So we had 13 start, but 3 of them that initially didn't show up, so we got dropped. So messed up tiebreakers. 10, but then we're on.
No.
Okay, so second place, Destin. Third place, Dawson. Fourth place, Dylan. Dwayne. Fifth place, Renzo.
So this one of those things that I told y'all to tell me about before we happened? You forgot?
When the Chiefs called and I said it was going to be this.
No.
Sold out the kid.
We asked him what you said. He was like, oh, he was just talking.
Oh, that's it. Y'all getting the whooping. Both of y'all. Both of y'all getting the whooping.
We asked him, Dylan said, hey, he said more stuff.
Gomez.
No, so you horrible, bro. How you say something like, oh, he was just talking?
That was one of his voices. You don't know which one.
I mean, on what?
Okay, so for the random play.
So you just hung up on him? He said,
For the what? Oh,
Isaiah.
Oh, okay. The new guy?
the new guy?
Yeah.
All right.
Hell yeah.
That's a way of coming in. Yeah, I know.
Deck box. Dwayne. Water ball.
Or vodka holder.
I hope it's me.
Must have been one.
4.
No, that's...
Oh yeah.
So much for that vodka.
Now it's a water bottle again.
And then I will do 4 random packs. 1 per. That is not somebody who's there. 1. Jerry. 1 pack.
Let me get that. Let me get the same.
4. 5. Everybody who's not here. 5.
2.
9.
Good.
Awesome.
And the last pack.
Yeah, it's a special event known as the back.
4.
What? You already got...
You already got one of those. 5. 5. 2. Yes.
I told you.
So at the end of the day, we went 2-2, got 7th place, and I am completely okay with that. We mainly went there for the practice to practice for YCS Pasadena, and I got a better understanding of what things I might want to change for the deck and see what I would switch out, because some things I'll be talking about a little bit more when I get to the deck profile, but there was definitely some notable things that I want to change for next week's video, and hopefully that will give me a little bit more of a boost of like maybe some consistencies or some protection, because heroes do struggle with protection because we don't have a negate. Konami, if you guys watching this, for the next pack after Dimension Force, give heroes a negate, and I'm not talking about the contrast hero that nobody plays. Please give us some type of negate, at least just one. Like, that's it. It doesn't even have to be OP or anything like that. Just give us one good negate. That is it. I would love to have that for a hero deck. But yeah, we did get a field center, so that was really cool. I believe this was a Back to Duel tournament, and it was not advertised as a Back to Duel tournament. I think it was called Back to Duel. And I think there would have been a lot more players had they known it was going to be a Back to Duel tournament with the prizes, but we didn't know anything about it either. It was a very big surprise, and I was so glad that I was actually that I actually did go, and I was like, hey, this was actually a really good day to go then, after all, with all the prizes and everything. So all in all, it was really cool, and it was also really cool to see a new player coming to locals for the very first time, and then the community there giving them some pointers on what to do, what not to do, and laying out how to play the game a little bit more, and giving him some cards, as well as him winning a playmat for the raffle. That was really awesome. I mean, that had to be a really good day for him, and I just like seeing this community come together to help out a player that doesn't really know how to play the game and starting off, and I do like that. I like seeing new players coming to locals, and hopefully eventually when things do get a little bit better, we will see more new players coming in, because we are at a cap size of 24 players a week. That's all we can do, and if when things do get better, I would love to see new players coming in and a full packed house of like the old players, the old players as well as the new players coming in. And I just want to see that happen so badly, and I'm just so glad to keep seeing new faces, new players, keeping the game alive. That is awesome. Now for the hero deck, this is where we're going to go into, and here I'll be talking about some things that I do want to change and some things that I'm like going back and forth with, and maybe you guys can help me in the comment section down below. That'd be very appreciative. And yeah, let's just get straight into the deck profile. We do run 2 Elemental Hero Stratos, 2 Elemental Hero Shadow Mist, 1 Liquid Soldier, and 1 Honest Neos. This is our lineup for the Elemental Heroes, and I do run Emergency Call, so it can search out any of these Elemental Heroes if I do need them. So technically, I kind of like run 7 Elemental Heroes in the deck. Then we go into the Destiny Hero package. We do have the 1 Destiny Hero Plasma, 2 Malicious, and 1 Denier. I was going back and forth with Celestial because I wanted to keep Dystopia, but I'm just going to cut Dystopia anyways. So yeah, these are just the only Destiny Heroes I'm going to be running in the deck. Then I have 1 Adusted Gold. Such a good card, and it's so great that it got reprinted, and it looks really nice as a secret rare. Then we do have the Vision Hero package with 3 Ferris, 2 Increases, and 2 Vion. I'm not running 3 of this card, and I don't think I need to run 3 of this. I was debating cutting this to 1, but after so many test plays, and even in today's tournament, yeah, 2 was the good call. Ferris at 3, I think it's still, you want to see it as soon as possible, so I would just keep it at 3. Then for the hand traps, we do have 2 Ash Blossom, 2 Nibiru. This card put in so much work for round 2, and then 2 Infinite Impermanences. I decided to just run 2 of each hand trap instead of like 3 and 3. Maybe I will though. I'm still debating keeping Nibiru in the main deck, or should I just side deck it? I might try to toy with that for the next week's video. Then for the spells, we have 3 Fusion Destiny and 3 Mass Change. This card is just so good, and I'm so scared it's gonna get banned. Or if it gets limited, I don't think that'll be that horrible, but at least for a hero deck, you can still hard Polymerization into, you know, your DPE. I mean, there is a combo you could do with that involves Ferris and Shadow Mist, and you could still hard Polymerization into DPE, not needing a Fusion Destiny. So that's actually really cool. So if it gets banned, well, we'll just have to like adapt. Then we also have the one-ofs, 1 A Hero Lives, 1 Polymerization, 1 Emergency Call, 1 Miracle Fusion, and then 1 Dark Calling to round up our one-ofs of the hero-related spell cards. Then we have 2 Triple Tactics Talent. This card I'm more than likely going to drop. I'm not sure what I'm going to add into the deck, but for sure I'm probably going to cut this. It wasn't really that good. I didn't really use it. I just used it one time, and even then I just drew duds. So it's like, it was kind of my thought of like using this instead of Crossout Designator, so I could just look at my opponent's hand and just get rid of 1 card. But maybe it's just because I ran 2, so I didn't even see it. But I don't know, I just didn't really like it when I actually did have it. Then for the last cards, we have Call by the Grave to protect ourselves for hand traps, 1 Rhoda to search anything, and 1 Foolish Burial to kind of search anything just by sending Shadow Mist from the deck to the graveyard to search out any hero. So that is it for the main deck. That is 40 cards, and I'm actually pretty glad I kept it at 40. Now for the extra deck really quickly here, we do have the Jade and Yuki token. Just want to show that. It's funny. 2 extra hero Cross Crusader and Konami Hollow, please. I mean, it's 2022. We need a dang Hollow for this card. 1 Wander Driver and 1 Dread Decimator. I didn't go into Wander Driver this time around, but it's still a good card. I like it, and I'm more than likely going to keep it in the extra deck. I do see people cutting it, but I don't know. I just want to keep it. And I'm not running Verte Anaconda in this build. I still debating if I want to pick up Verte Anaconda for this deck. It's just like, I don't know if it's really that good for me to be playing it. I just don't know. I just don't see the appeal of actually playing it, but a lot of people do have success with it, so shout outs to them. 1 Elemental Hero Sunrise searches your Miracle Fusion and pops a card. Really cool. 1 Absolute Zero. I did not go into this card, mostly not by choice because I just couldn't do anything. And I did have the 1 Shiny. It's another Miracle Fusion target, and when I originally had this, I was debating running Super Polymerization just in case if I went against like Drytrons, or somebody has a DPE and I just have a Destiny hero on my field, or any hero, and I can just fuse them both and go to my own DPE. So yeah, that's also one of the main reasons I did have the Shining, but it is a Miracle Fusion target as well. 1 Destiny Hero Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, such a good card, and 1 Dystopia, which will be cut, and I will be running Dangers instead of this for the foreseeable future. Then we have the 1 Evil Hero Malicious Bane. So happy this card got reprinted, and it looks really cool as a secret rare. Then we do have the 1 Vision Hero Trinity. Originally, I was running both Trinity and Adoration, mostly because I was still in that mindset of using Super Polymerization. And if my opponent had their own DPE on the field and I had any hero, I can just activate Super Polymerization using both monsters, go into Adoration. They cannot bring back DPE because it wasn't destroyed. And like, you know, I have a Super Poly target just to get rid of their DPE. I might go into doing that for next week's video to just like try it out, see how it does, you know. Then we have the 2 Masked Hero Dark Law, 1 Blast, and 1 Acid. These are really good. I did not go into this as it wasn't as useful as it was during the test plays. I did this one early once, and I did not go into Acid at all, but it's still a really good card. Going into the side deck really quickly here, we do have 3 Lancia. This card was used once, and it was actually pretty good. 3 Drawn Lockbird. I did not side this card in at all. I might cut it. It just didn't really see much play, but I kind of still want to keep it just in case, but we'll have to see. 3 Dark Ruler No More. Didn't see it. I didn't side it into the main deck. I just, you know, I don't know why I didn't actually side it, but yeah. 3 Twin Twisters. This originally was going to be evenly matched, so maybe next week I'll probably be running evenly matched instead of this, but Twin Twister's still not that bad of a card. I don't know, I might try to squeeze it in there somewhere. 2 Lightning Storm, just in case if I ever win second instead of going first, I would just, you know, put this card in the deck. Then lastly, we have one red reboot because Altergeist is still a pain in the butt, and any back row decks, you know, get hurt by this card. And with that, guys, that's gonna wrap up the video, and I really do appreciate it if you got this far watching the video. It was so much fun doing another vlog episode because it has been a very long time since I did one, and I was just so glad to be going back to locals after almost being gone for 2 months and just playing heroes again. I just cannot get over the fact that I finally have a completed hero deck, and I have something to take to YCS Pasadena with my favorite archetype of all time. And I'm hoping for new support in the next set after Dimension Force, because of that name has elemental in the name. Elemental heroes, maybe. Come on, Konami, give us a negate. Just one simple negate, not some ridiculous fusion requirements like the contrast hero that nobody plays. But yeah, all in all, good day, good atmosphere, new player, really awesome community. And if you guys have any suggestions for the deck profile, like any changes or anything that you would guys recommend, let me know in the comment section down below. And once again, I will be changing the deck for next week's video because I do want to get into more test playing before I actually fill out a deck list to submit for the YCS Pasadena. But I do have to do that before the 14th, or at least in the morning on the 14th, but I want to do it at least before that. So any suggestions are very welcomed, and I do have some cards on the way on my way here. I have some cards on the way, okay? I have some cards on the way from the mail. I did order some Cosmic Cyclones as well as some token collectors, so that's gonna be going into the extra deck, side deck, I'm sorry, and Evenly Matches are gonna be going into the side deck as well. So yeah, let me know in the comment section down below any suggestions you would for my deck. And thank you guys again so much for watching. I know it's been a while, and I just really do appreciate you guys for staying here and you know, just sticking with me and the channel. So thanks again. If you guys enjoyed the content, please hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more upcoming videos. And with that, guys, I'll see you all in the next video.